became the consultant to help with people through, I'm like, I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not the only one struggling. And there wasn't the resources. Like, where would my practice have opened? Would I have restructured it versus just crumbling and being in a dark place for a while? So you and I are very passionate. We would see, like, when I had struggles and challenges, this didn't exist. So I want to get the knowledge and training to become that person for the other midwives. The other thing is, you and I'm putting probably words in your mouth, but I bet you're going to answer the same way. Midwife means with women. It doesn't mean catching babies. So I say that to midwives all the time because they feel embarrassed. They start a women's health clinic. They create inventions. They're not being a midwife anymore. And so getting past this mindset midwives have, that you can only promote yourself as being a midwife if you, like, even you had said it, you're not clinically practicing, but you're still a midwife. You're midwifing the midwives. You're doing other roles. Our whole point is with women, supporting advocacy and access to empowerment. And so I think that's really important to hit home. Too many midwives just think in the little box, like, I'm just going to work for this job because I can't start a home birth center practice. And I'm like, but there's so many aspects of women's healthcare and advocacy where women's healthcare you can get into based on your life changes and needs that you have.
Definitely. But for that, we need to start thinking outside of the box, how we can complement all the wisdom that we bring as clinicians to other aspects and to expand it, because I think that right now there is an opportunity with I don't know, in the USA also it's the same, but here in Canada there are issues about burnout, about, the COVID has created lots of issues with people. There is an exhausted healthcare working force. So midwives right now have the opportunity to pivot and to take some spaces that could be useful for society and for bringing more other skills to the table. So I hope, but everybody's so exhausted that they're not even seeing that way because they don't have the energy to start lobbying and So,
but you got to start small and simple. I mean, crisis brings opportunity. You know that from all your behavior and pivots. If people are too comfortable, they keep doing the same thing. They're like, okay, life's good. This is fine.
Oh my God.
You have to hit a certain level of frustration and anger. And I'm not happy with where I am and what I'm doing. Like, I've seen more than ever, more people reach out for business questions after COVID because they're like, I worked for the hospital forever. I don't like the way it's setting up. I don't like the way it's being done. Can I run a practice where I get to do it on my terms? Can I actually make money? All these myths and barriers that stop a lot of midwives from opening practices, we actually get an opportunity to talk to them about it now because they're too uncomfortable.
Yes, that's true. Here in Canada, the funding model is a little bit different than probably other parts of the world, and everything happens probably slower than maybe happens in the USA. But I think that right now there is an opportunity to accelerate some of those visions, and that midwifery has an incredible opportunity to step into the plate. And so I hope I can help with that, to create business models, to create help with proposals, start lobbying, and create more other business models in which there is more emphasis in the interdisciplinarity, and also other education. I don't know how is the education in the USA, but I am teaching in one big university here in Canada, and it caught my attention that midwives have very low exposure to interdisciplinarity. They do placements, they go to hospitals, they do some shifts, but there is no beyond that. It would be great if there is more integration. There
In
is
the in the birth settings, hospital, birth
yes,
center, home, yeah, and that's the
yes,
same challenge in the US because you either get trained to be community based or you get trained to be hospital. Sometimes people will, particularly nurse midwives, try to jump to this other world, but there's a lot of barriers for it because they're not trained. They're the minority. Like, yes, you and I are on that same page. Like, I want more cohesive, like CNMs, CPMs, the Canada midwives, like more of a cohesive training and exposure, so then you can pivot and you can understand both sides a lot better.